noted by the voice of God from California. California is living, ladies and gentlemen, already in Obama's second term. We know what it's like to live in a society dominated by one party, chronic unemployment, permanent feature of the economy, high taxes going higher, an oppressive bureaucracy that is anti-business by ideology and commitment. We know what it is to live in Obama's second term. We are already there. We're not alone. Illinois is in the same boat. Anybody from Illinois? People here from Maryland, you're in the same boat. The answer to any problem of those states and in other places is to raise taxes. We've got to raise taxes just to be fair. The highest rate of taxation in California is 10.3%. We apply it to the filthy rich who make at least $47,900. We have, on my show, I started doing a website in 1994. I had my first Tea Party in 1991. I have been, in fact, I was threatened with arrest for throwing a tea bag into San Diego Harbor because I was going to pollute the harbor. I said, this harbor has 50 Navy ships and this tea is good. Anyway, so I want to tell you just a couple of stories about California because I want to scare you into even doing more than you're doing in this coming election that Guy was just talking about. We have an air pollution control district that is intent on air quality. So intent that a few years ago they barred, get this now, bakeries from exhaling the smell of baking bread because it was an air pollution. They had to put scrubbers on the exhaust fans from the ovens to prevent you from smelling in the morning as you walked along downtown San Diego streets, the smell of baking bread and air pollution. Had enough government yet? Have we had enough government yet? Yeah. It isn't just New York and the big gulp and how much salt you've got on your steak or whatever the hell else Bloomberg is doing today. It's everywhere. And I'll tell you what it is. It's not just Barack Obama, it's the 10,000 wannabe Barack Obamas at every level, state and local. And so in our great state, our once great golden state, the push was on for decades for solar energy. The perfect place for it is the Mojave Desert, the hottest, most sunshine in North America. A plan was drawn up for a massive solar plant. Out of hundreds of square miles, it would cover, 300 or 400 acres. Now the environmentalists who pushed for all those years to get solar energy are opposed to the plant because it covers the habitat of the desert tortoise. We had a dream in California that we'd have a bullet train, just like in Japan, that would go from LA to San Francisco at, 200 miles an hour, or at least that's what they would say, right? The first phase is going in between two small towns in the Central Valley. There's Corcoran and one other. And the main feature of these two small towns is that they both have state prisons. So we have dubbed this train the Conjugal Visit Express. Now, typical of California, after the environmentalists pressured for this train to be built, when they actually got down to it, the Sierra Club, the Natural Resources Defense Council, is now suing because, well, wait a minute, the train tracks will disrupt the drainage and the habitat, and well, we can't do that. This is how crazy California is. We started out being crazy at one level, now we've just doubled down, as they say here in Vegas. We're all in on crazy in California. And the answer, of course, to the budget that was balanced last July, but by January was $16 billion out of budget, out of alignment, is to raise taxes again. People are fleeing California, businesses are fleeing California, and what is left is the highest food stamp. In fact, we're proud of our food stamp operation. The EBT card, you know about this? The EBT card, we're proud of it. Because it's the EBT card we have found has been used in casinos here in Vegas. It's been used on cruise ships in the Caribbean. Our poor people are living right in California. Twitter @Roger Hedgecock. Facebook page is The Roger Hedgecock Show. I want you to interact because here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm committed to, and it makes all of us a lot more powerful. The old media, that includes radio, coupled with the new media, equals that we can network the crazy out of this upcoming election. We can, all of us, be powerful. And it doesn't take many. I want to leave you with one thought. Think back for a minute when you think, oh gosh, how many people agree with this? It's not nearly enough. Everybody's always so liberal. Everybody's always so crazy. Where I work, I can't even talk about being conservative. Blah, blah, blah. I hear this all every day. I said, do you know what it was like in 1775 in this country? 3% of the population, it is estimated, supported the revolution, supported independence from Great Britain when it started. 3%. There's 3% in this room. And I'm not asking for the revolution, you know that. The founders left us with a peaceful way to do that, didn't they? The peaceful way is that despite the cheating, despite the illegals on the rolls, despite the dead people, despite all, did you see Florida? 83,000 dead people on the polling rolls. Now, mind you, the dead deserve representation too. Don't get me wrong on this. And now they found, of course, tons of illegals. That's not unusual. In California, I walked precincts for Van Tran, trying to get the Chavez sisters out of office. Thank you very much, Californians. And I'm going by, a very nice gentleman answers the door. He's on the voting rolls. He says, I'm sorry, I love Van Tran, but I can't vote. I'm not in the country legally. What about these other two people in your home? No, they're illegals too. You're on the voting roll, sir. I've never voted. He's got a permanent mail ballot address, though, where somebody is casting his ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get after this. We can't let them cheat. We can't let them do what they do out of Chicago. That Chicago cancer has metastasized now to every corner of this great country. And we've got to stop it this election. Because if we don't, then we're not going to have free and fair elections. And I think even Jimmy Carter, coming around as an observer isn't going to help us any. We call him back from Zimbabwe. Jimmy, we need you to look at our elections. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to continue to do what you do so well, and that is to communicate, communicate, communicate. We do not want to have a failure of communication in this coming election. We want to mobilize people's every basic traditional value. Contrast the fear of the other side, because that's what they have going for them, is fear. What we have going for us is the righteous knowledge that if we prevail, people's lives are going to just be a whole lot better off. Even the president can't look himself in the mirror because his 2007 income was 2.5 times what the income was this last year. Even he can't look himself in the mirror and say, I'm better off today than I was 4 years ago. And neither can anybody else in this country. God bless you. Thanks for being here.